Today we're here at Living Water Vein Institute in Johnson City, and I'm joined by Dr. John Berry. And Dr. Berry, thank you first of all for having us out here today. You've got a beautiful office and facility here in Johnson City.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you coming today.
Yeah, let's talk about this. How did Living Waters come to be?
Well, I was working with a cardiology group here in town and some wonderful people. And after a period of time, they asked for my assistance with working in their vein clinic.
Right.
And so in addition to cardiology, I started working in the vein clinic, and I was already certified in doing vascular interpretation. I was leading up the directorship there for vascular ultrasound.
Right.
And it seemed like a natural progression to start to do the veins. So one of our lovely nurse practitioners then said, hey, you should try doing this. And I wasn't sure at first. I started thinking, well, let me see. And I decided to get into it and learn some courses and such. And then eventually I took the venous lymphatic board exam, and I just enjoyed doing the work, really is what it was. People were happy, they felt better immediately, and they were able to get rid of a heavy burden. Their legs didn't feel like lead weights anymore. And kind of like the idea there weren't any severe emergencies to deal with, as you would in the other fields. So.
Right. But the veins, so vitally important to our overall health.
Yes, indeed. So.
And that's something that you take care of here every day. Talk to me about the services you offer when it comes to vein care.
So we see mostly folks with lower extremity varicosities, and then aching, swollen legs. Sometimes they don't see the varicosities, but their legs just feel like they have ankle weights on all the time. So they just tell me they're cramping, they're sore, tender, maybe have some skin discolorations, and maybe the worst case would be ulcerations of the skin because of venous stasis changes and there's congestion in the flow down the legs, and they have these heavy swollen legs that are red or almost dark discoloration. So those folks needed the most immediate attention to have the ulcerations.
And when you're speaking of that attention, talk to us about some of the things that you do to help alleviate some of those conditions.
So we start with a consultation, and I personally evaluate the patient, and then we do a venous ultrasound. It's also called venous ultrasound with reflux examination. So we're looking at the direction of flow in the legs. We're looking at a map function of seeing where the conduits go in the legs, see which conduits are feeding the varicose veins or causing a problem or a reverse flow. And once we identify that, then we can go on to therapies. And the therapies that are out there, the two mainstream ones would be radiofrequency ablation, otherwise known as thermal ablation, basically heat. Sometimes we use laser catheters called endovenous laser therapy, basically tiny catheters that are inserted into the vein that's causing the disruption of flow and encouraging the varicose veins to continue to grow, increasing pressure to the leg. And once we put these little catheters in, it's like starting an IV.
Right.
Instead of doing it in your arm, you're just doing it in the leg. So the vein of target is right below the skin. We numb them up and put this little tiny heat catheter into place, and then basically heat the vein to cauterize it so it'll close and quit feeding all the varicose veins. And then we'll bring them back a day or two later, sometimes a little longer depending on patient schedules. Right. And we'll do what's called microfoam ablation. So there's a compound called Varithena, which is proprietary. It comes down in a can. It's basically CO2 gas mixed with a chemical detergent for the veins. So it allows us just to simply put a butterfly needle in some of these varicose veins, get them to thrombose and close, and then they'll be absorbed by the body over time. Once in a great while, we'll go on to something called phlebectomy, which is basically manually pulling out some of the veins. Of course, we numb everybody up real well for that, but we don't have to do that very much anymore.
Right. So taking care of the vein side of things, but you also have added aesthetics here as well.
Yes, yes, and some of the overlap there is something we call sclerotherapy. So some of the ladies will show up, they don't have the varicose veins, but maybe they don't like the appearance of their legs because of spider veins. And so for that, we just mix up a less concentrated version of the sclerosant or detergent for the veins, and we inject that with a tiny needle and basically make those veins kind of disappear as we're doing it. And then they thrombose, little microchannels, and then they get reabsorbed over time and go away. Right. So that's one aspect of the aesthetics, kind of an overlap between vein and skin aesthetics. But on the skin aesthetics, we had so many patients asking us, saying, Doc, you got rid of my veins, but what about these lines? What about these dark spots? I want my skin a little tighter, kind of want to lose a little flab in the belly or under the arms and the thighs. And so we looked into that too, and we have had a couple of companies come alongside us to help us. And so Cynosure, InMode, two great companies that make some of these machines that generate radio frequency heat. Some are basically a laser machine that's it's like laser, but it generates pulses of light to deal with brown spots, to deal with some of the fine wrinkles and lines, and laser hair removal, which is always popular this time of year too.
I think we could stay here all day talking about the services that you offer here, but you encourage folks, just pick up the phone or come in and get a consultation, find out if they have an issue with veins or if they wanted to check into the aesthetic side of things, just to come out and check out Living Water.
Yes, indeed. We appreciate the calls and to help everyone personally. We just enjoy getting to know people and getting them some assistance and help them.
All right, Dr. John Berry, thank you so much for having us out today. Folks, it is the Living Water Vein Institute here in Johnson City. We're going to put some information for you on the screen right now, how you can contact them and you can come by here and check out all the services that they offer.
The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by